Hey everybody, this is Melina from scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and over on Instagram and Facebook. I am bringing you another M Scrapbusters video and that is a weekly challenge here on my channel where I try to help you to use up some scraps that you've got in your piles and piles and piles that maybe you can just use up in a pretty way and you won't have to toss them in the garbage. Okay, I got this idea this week from Miss Margreth over at 7 Plaza. I love her file folder February series she's doing right now. And I decided, I watched one of them. Actually, this was one that she had done about a year and a half ago, I think. But she had shown the one that she made in that past video just here recently in one of her file folder February videos. And when I saw it, I thought, ooh, okay, I've got to go search that one out because that is too cute. And this is slightly different from hers, but I wanted it to be able to fit on a half sheet journal page easily, and these do. So my measurements are different than hers, but it is the same kind of deal as Margreth's. And thank you so much, Margreth, for all of your wonderful ideas every week. She has tons and tons of videos every week, y'all. And she's just a genius as far as making up. Y'all think that I make up good ideas for M Scrapbusters? No. She is a genius. But anyway, these little file folders that she's been making here lately, I put it on repeat on the TV yesterday, Margreth, and I just watched and watched and watched. And I was like, okay, I am not going to get a video done today because I'm watching Margreth. Oh well, it was wonderful. And my husband came in from work and he was like, ooh, who's this? So he even sat there and watched with me for a while. And I said, she has given me my M Scrapbusters idea for tomorrow too. And he was like, oh, good, okay. So I was in the middle of doing some other digital work and then making our supper, and Margreth was on our living room TV. I'm just saying. Anyway, this little mini file folder pocket is just darling. And I have made it, like I said, to fit on a regular half sheet journal page. So here you can see it fits nicely. You don't have to have the gusset at all if you don't want it, but I just think it makes it look more like a file folder. A traditional file folder, just like Margreth was saying. And so when you close it up, you are going to get some girth from it, but you can flatten it out if you want to, just like so, and no worries. Okay, but yeah, my little gusset there, I love it. And then since this is open on both sides, I didn't put gussets actually on the file folder piece itself. We're using the little closure looking thing like Margreth did. And I love it. Now this is just my prototype. I am not going to use this cording again. This was just the prototype to make sure that I was doing it like I needed to be doing it. So then, of course, you can decorate this part. And on this, y'all, I didn't use any cardstock. All of this is scrap paper, so no cardstock whatsoever on this one. You can use cardstock if you want to. This part can be cardstock and, you know, have it a little bit more sturdy. And then this can just be paper, or you can make it all in cardstock if you've got scrap cardstock. But I think it's the cutest little thing. And I know somebody's going to ask about this. Yes, Bethany, our little cosmetology student, painted my nails. I hadn't had my nails painted in months, so that was a treat the other day. Before we went on our ministry trip for the weekend, she painted my nails. Anyway, let's get started on these mini file folder pockets made from scraps. I have some ledger papers that we received. Mom actually received them, and I was over at the shop the other day, and I said, yes, I will be receiving some of these. And I just got them out of out of the booklets that a viewer had sent us. Her, if I'm understanding correctly, her husband was an accountant for years and years and years, and he had all of these, like, you know, they weren't vintage to him when he was using them all those years ago, but he had all of these blank invoices and ledger books, and she sent them to us. How sweet is that? Look at these, how big they are. And it's just ready to go in like a binder, 3-ring binder, 4-ring binder, Melina. So there are those, and then those. I thought these were so cute for journaling. And Mom, I'm sorry, you will have to tag the sweet lady that sent these. Those are very unique looking. I love those. You'll have to tag her because I have, as usual, forgotten her name. I do that a lot. But thank you, thank you, thank you. You know who you are anyway. And I might use one of these in, oops, sorry, moved the whole desk, in one of our file folders today. And anybody that is hearing it, if you have supersonic hearing and you hear the fan going off on my computer, be thankful for that. I know that it is nice and breezy sounding, but we need that fan so that we don't burn up our computer and we continue to make videos. Now, you could use book pages for these too. If you've got some book pages that are nice and sturdy and not old brittle, you know. So you might have to check that. I am going to turn down my brightness a little bit. I apologize for that. I saw that it was a little too bright there, Melina. All right, so that's what we're working with. Here are the measurements. So for the mini file folder pockets made from scraps, you are going to need a piece that is 4.5 inches by 7.5 inches. So I'm going to get some of my bigger scraps, and we are going to cut these down. I'm hoping that I've got big enough pieces here. So this way is exactly 7.5. Yay. So I only have to cut this one way, so I'm going to cut it at 4.5. You will need a scoreboard. Okay, there's that. And then this one is a little longer, so we will go ahead and cut this at 4.5. No. Yeah, 4.5. Ooh. I'm questioning myself. 4.5, and then we're going to cut it at, ooh, I need my other trimmer. Yeah. We're going to cut it at 7.5. Because I need the arm. 7.5. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Just a little bitty sliver off of that one. Okay, and then this cardstock. Let's just do it here since we're already here. Lengthwise, we need 7.5. And then widthwise, we need 4.5. So 4.5 by 7.5. That's our main base measurement. And we're going to get out our score pal. You get out whatever scoring tool you have. If it is your trimmer and you've just got a scoring blade, wonderful. Do that. I have this big ginormous one, so it's what I have to work with. Got to do it. So then we're going to lay this piece that is 4.5 wide by 7.5 long. We're going to lay this piece on our score pile, and we're going to score at the 4-inch mark and the 4 1/4 or 4.25, not 4 1/2, 4 1/4. So 4-inch, 4 1/4. I'll go ahead and lay, this is cardstock. I'm going to lay these papers down here and do the same thing. 4 and 4 1/4. 4, 4 1/4. That one's a little bit longer than this one. I don't care. We're good. All right. Then you've got to figure out, do you want a left tab like I did here? Do you want a right tab, or do you want a middle tab? Okay. So when you fold these up, the short side is going to be your front side. So I'm going to fold over on both of those score lines I just made. And then you've got that lip there at the top. We'll fold this over. These have white back, so they're really easy for me to show you on camera. And Melina, let's fold that correctly. Really easy to show you on camera when it's got a white background. So that's why I went ahead and chose these papers. All right, I've folded over on both of those score lines. So then I have that left at the top. So let's do this one also. If you have directional paper, you've got words on something, you might not want to use that, especially if the words turn out upside down. So that will be a little more ingenuity that you will need to test out. So this one was longer than these. I think I will just barely trim off the end of this one because I don't want the tab to be too tall. All right. So like I said, you've got to figure out, do I want a left tab, a middle tab, or a right tab? So if you want, with these measurements, if you want a left tab, you are going to cut a straight line. You don't need a punch for this. You can cut it, you can do it yourself. You don't need a punch. You can do this. If you want a left tab, you're going to cut at the 1 1/4 inch mark, straight up and down. If you want a right tab, you're going to cut at the 3 1/4 side, on this side, just straight down. And I'll show you that in just a minute. I'm just giving you a for instance. Now for the middle tab, I have not done a prototype with a middle tab yet. I am thinking that I'm going to need to cut at the 1 3/4 and the 2 3/4 and then cut that off and cut that off to get the middle. We shall see how that works. It might not be perfectly in the middle, so we'll have to figure that out. I do need my score pal back. I'm going to put these over to the side and I will show you. I am just going to use my scoring tool, and for my left tab, I'll put this up here for you. For my left tab, I'm going to score, just so I know where my cut line needs to be, at 1 1/4, 1.25. Okay. For my right tab, I'm going to score and then eventually cut at 3 1/4 or 3.25. Okay, that's just giving me my line so I know where to cut. And then for middle, this is totally experimental right here because I have not done a middle tab yet. Now, if you have a template to cut the tabs at the tops of paper or cardstock to make file folders, by all means use that. But this is beginner friendly for anybody that does not have all the tools of the trade yet. And I mean, I've been in this since 1999 and I don't have a tab punchy something another. Okay, so then for middle tab, I'm going to score and eventually cut at 1 3/4 and then at 2 3/4. Is that going to be big enough? Yeah, I think it needs to be at 3. I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to put 3 inches, question mark. We shall see in just a moment. So I did it at 1 3/4 and at 3. Now, moment of truth. Yeah, it's probably not going to be in the perfect center. I don't care. So I'm cutting down just far enough that the white will have a little bit of a ledge there, like this is. So it's not going to be flush up like that. It's going to have a little bit of a lip. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just cut straight down. Okay, that's going to be my tab. So I'm going to unfold. And then I'm going to fold down these sides that are going to get cut off. And just make sure that it's even on the edge. Okay, so just like that. It was funny, Margreth was talking about things that she says all the time. I think one of hers is okay. One of mine is okay, Margreth also. I say, okay, like a question, like you're actually going to answer me while I'm making this video. So there is that one. I think she said, was it Tina you spoke about that said something else? It's funny what we get hung up on when we're trying to teach you guys everything. Alright, so there is my right tab. So all of this is going to get folded down. And I'm just opening that up, creasing it, and then making sure that it is even all the way across. Ooh, my nose is itching. And then for the cardstock, I am going to find my foam folder buried over here. I'm going to burnish that down. Alright, then for my left tab, I'm going to cut straight down, but leaving, I'm not going all the way to that paper that's folded. I'm just leaving a little bit of a lip. And then I will fold that down, making sure that this over here is even. So that'll usually mean that the rest of it's even. If you're even over here, you don't have any overlap, it usually means you've got a good, nice, even fold. Right? So then with paper, that's my other word. Alright? Okay? Alright? Oh well. I hope y'all love me in spite. So what I do, now you can get your scissors back, and I probably will have to use scissors on the cardstock, but when it's just light paperweight, fold it back and forth a couple of times. And then don't do like you did in school, elementary school, where when you did that and you put a little bit of on it and it tore really easy down the fold line. You don't need that. Then just gingerly and gently tear across where you just folded it back and forth and back and forth. And looky there what you got. We're going to round corners, and it's going to look just like file folder tab. And you've made your own little mini file folder, and you didn't need any kind of template to draw it out. You didn't need any kind of punch to punch that notch for you. You can do it all by yourself. Beginner friendly. And that's another thing I like about Margreth. She does a lot of beginner friendly stuff. Now I'm going to see if I can tear. Oh, look at there. It's doing it. She does a lot of beginner-friendly stuff. She goes over all the supplies you need before she even starts the project. I'm very bad about that. I just say, here we go. and you use whatever you got. All right, so there is my right tab, my left tab, and now let's see how middle tab turns out. Ooh. So I'm going to fold that back and forth and back and forth and get me a good burnished fold line so that I can tear it. I just like the look of the torn. If you've got a really steady hand and can cut straight across, go for it. All right, that is looking promising. I do believe it's not exactly in the middle, so you might have to play around with those measurements. All right, it is not too far off. It is a little, but it's not too far off. Y'all, it works. All right, so with my corner rounder punch, it will not get in there. The slot is not long enough. So, especially for the middle one, I'm going to have to do my own corner rounding. And I am not good at that at all. But we're going to try it. Look at it. It's a wonky little, whomper-jawed little piece of mess is what it is. Oh well. Okay, and then with this one, I can get the corner rounder there. Then I'll just have to do my own corner on this side. That one turned out lots better. Okay, I will corner round all of those edges there. Ooh, I like the craft colored one. Okay, and then let's see here. You're not going to need the scoring tool, your scoring tool anymore after this. So I'm going to put that away. And then we are going to round the corners of all of these. And we're going to ink them, and then I'll show you how to do the closure. Now my little corner rounder does not like paper much, so that's why it was trying to eat that. See, it just kind of like sits on top of it. Sorry, I'm banging it up against the desk to get the giblets, as Mama calls it, out. Okay, then I'm going to round this one by hand. Bless it. It does not matter though. It is yours to do with as you please. All right, look here. So, ta-da. Now you've got left tab, right tab, and middle tab. I don't have a clue what Aaron Jonas is doing in his room, but I mean, it's making some noise, whatever it is. Then you are going to make the closure after you ink them. I'll ink off camera. I'm using gathered twigs. Y'all know how to ink. I'm not going to go through all of that. I will ink those off camera in just a bit. But yeah, gathered twigs is what I'm using. For your closure, let's go ahead and cut that. You're going to need a piece that is 1 3/4, 1.75 wide, and then 2.75 or 2 3/4 long. Okay, that's these two little pieces here. And I have got the little reinforced hole punch. You do not need that. If you have a little tiny 1-inch circle punch, you could just use that. I think I've got a 1-inch, yep. I would probably use like a 3/4 inch circle punch if you've got that, because the 1-inch looks a little too big, but that's what that says that is. Let me see what this other one is. I've got a tiny one over here. All right, this is 5/8. Yes, that's what I would use. So if you've got this little 5/8 circle, I will keep this down here and I'll use that, and I'll use the reinforced hole punch just to show you both, how both come out. I've got some red scrap cardstock that I'm using to make the little reinforced holes there. And then for the closures, so I'm going to use this paper that I cut off of that one for this one to have myself a little bit of a contrast. And then I think that one will be fine for that. And then for that one, I think I will use some really decorative papers that I've had left over from a kit. Alright, so this is some paper, some cardstock actually, left over from a 49 in Market. I think it's that Countryside because it's got little peas hanging from it. You would think they would have made this green, but I digress. We are going to cut 1.5 inches wide. No, 1 3/4 inches wide. So sorry. We'll do it this way. 1 3/4, and then 2 3/4, or 2.75. So 1 3/4 and 2 3/4, and that is right. Woohoo! Look at there. I had to cut twice. Yay! All right, this one. Let's get it down to 1 3/4 or 1.75. And then cut down 2.75 or 2 3/4. Okay. And then this piece, I'm going to go this way, 1 3/4. And 2 3/4. Then you're going to use your corner rounder punch, or you're going to trim it with your scissors. Just one side. See the back, you're going to be gluing that down anyway, so you don't have to do that on the back side. So just the one end is going to get rounded edges. And let's see, let's do them like this. Rounded edges for that, and then my rounded edges for this one. So we have a huge convention. I think Aaron has put clothes away and he's slamming drawers, sorry. We are going to a big convention the 3rd week in March, and we're getting ready for that. We're needing to get some stuff for our booth that we'll have and things like that. So that's what I have been working on this week, and that is one reason why you didn't get a video before today this week. I've been working on that. I've been trying to work on some more digitals. I'm working on one right now that has ferns in it, the plant ferns, and I'm really liking it. So it'll be all different shades of green, with some other stuff mixed in with it, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to some warmer weather. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to do like I said I was going to do, and I'm going to ink off camera using gathered twigs, and I'm going to ink these also and all around the fronts of the file folders that we've made, all that's going to show on the front, okay? Everything is inked. Then you are going to fold these. You do not have to use the score pal to do this, your scoring tool, anything like that. But if you want to, go for it. And what I'm doing, I'm folding it just so that there is like almost 1/4 of an inch left right there. So almost in half, but not quite. That's all we're doing. So if you've already rounded those corners, it's kind of just like you're going up to that, where it starts to round, and then you're folding it right there. I'm going to do that to all of these. The cardstock ones will be a little bit harder. Okay. There's that one. And this one. And then this paper one's easy peasy. Just even it up. Leave yourself a little lip there. And you've got your closure all done. As far as folded and ready to be attached. But what we're going to do first, before we attach them, because, you know, there could be some kind of mindless something or another that happens and you punch the hole in the wrong place. And then you already got it glued on there, and then what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? My brother-in-law loves using that. What are you going to do about it? He says that all the time, and no, he's not from Boston. So we're not sure why he does that, but he does. First, you're going to use either your 5/8 inch circle punch, that's not on screen, there we go, or your reinforced hole punch. These are made by, I think We Are Memory Keepers. It might be Fiskars, I don't know. It's stuck in there. No, it's not. It's right there, Melina. Okay, so there's how I got those from the reinforced hole punch. I will use for these two the little 5/8 inch circle punch. Now they are going to be a little bit bigger. I'm good with that. It's fine. No worries. That one is on the pants. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is use those on those two. Some stamping on that would be very, very pretty too. But now, when you put these closures on, they're not going to be attached to the front at all. So you can decorate later. You don't have to decorate at this very moment. But just saying, that's totally open, and you can decorate that how you wish. So let's go ahead and get our glue. And we can put these on. And you don't need really that much, but you do want to go to the outside edges because you're about to punch a hole in the middle of these, and if you just put glue in the middle, it'll probably pop off. So I'm just going to try to go center front of these. So there's one on that one. And then one on that one, and you're just going to kind of hold them up beside each other and go, yeah, that's about good. We're good. And then let's glue these on. All of these I had some red in. That's good. Glad I picked that scrap piece, huh? And then this one. And I'll hold it up, and that one is not center. There we go. Lots better. And then my little reinforced circles. A lot harder to get the glue on because you're getting it on your nails and you're getting it everywhere else. Putting it through the hole already. And the hole doesn't need any glue. Hold it like this maybe. That would help a little bit. You're still going to get it all over your fingers. If you've got tweezers, I do have tweezers around here somewhere. But you see, I'm not using it. So I need to go up just a little bit with that one, I think. That's pretty good. Then I'm going to use my crocodile with the biggest hole punch on the side and punch holes. I can hear my phone going off in the other room. And if you are a stickler about getting it perfectly in the center, make yourself a little pencil line. I'm good. Okay, there's that, and then even the reinforced ones need a hole in the middle. So just kind of go in the center of where the reinforced already is. A lot easier to do it this way than to punch the hole and then try to get that reinforced circle to line up. In my opinion. Ask me how I know that. Alright, then you're going to put glue on the side of your closure piece that does not have the rounded edges, rounded corners, okay? And that is going to get glued to the back of your little file folder. And you're going to even it up. You can go higher if you want to, lower if you want to. I wouldn't get too close to the gusset part at the bottom if I were you, but, you know, put it wherever you like. Then this one, I'm going to put it on and then, you know, just kind of eyeball it as far as, does it need to come up some, down some, and this one does need, I think, to go up just a little bit. Maybe. Just a frog's hair. Alright. Then, this one, I think the cardstock is going to be easier. You watch, it'll be harder. I haven't done a cardstock one, so we shall see. I'm going to put this one a little higher and just even it up. Okay. So, a lot of you have asked about Bethany as far as her working at the salon. She is doing her internship this semester, and she is able to observe a licensed cosmetologist who just so happens to be a lady I went to school with and who is my stylist. There, I think those are pretty even. And then she is also able to make appointments. So if somebody wants to make an appointment with her, they can, and she can make money doing that. Even though she is interning, she has her student license already. She will go in June to take her state boards. So that'll be a month after she graduates. She'll take her state boards to get her full licensed, to become a fully licensed cosmetologist. But now, yes, if you only have a student license, you can still work in a salon and make money as long as there is always a licensed cosmetologist there with you. So there we've got all of our closures on. Now we need to pick our trim, string, whatever we're going to use. So baker's twine, I would say, is best for this, and that is what Margreth used, was baker's twine. So let's find us some of that. I've got purple, and I've got teal, and I have got pink. I think I will use the teal for this one, but I'm going to dig a little deeper for some other colors for the other ones. And I think this one I did like the little slide knots and had 2 pieces out here. I think with this, what I shall do is just string it through like that, and then string through another piece, and then tie it in a bow up front. So I will need about yay long, I think, of baker's twine. And yes, I will measure it for you. I cut 20 inches of baker's twine. I'm going to put this through, and we'll see if it's long enough to make yourself a nice little bow up front. If I can get it to cooperate through the other hole. Alright, close my little closures. Get it tight. Go around. And then tie my bow. Oh yeah, plenty. You could probably get away with about 17 inches instead of 20. Lovely. Alright, let me find some other baker's twine that will go with that just a little bit better. Alright, I found some tan, or like a craft color, and then this is a dark teal. I cut both of these at 17 inches, and I think that's going to be a little bit better length, not too long, for our closure here, and enough for my fumble fingers to be able to still tie the knot easily. Yes, lots better. I like that. And then this one. So, if you're wondering still, okay, Melina, you've made little miniature file folders, and you've put little cute little closures on the fronts of them, but how are they a pocket? Okay, like I said, whenever I made these file folders, I did not put closures on the edges of them. So they are a normal fold out file folder form. So then, if you want to use them as a pocket, like I will use them as a pocket in your journal, you will attach them on the back. So all of this gets glued down. Okay, and then with that closure closed, you've got pocket space there. So let me find, I've got some, oh yeah. You can get stuff that just fits down in there, and it's not going to cover up your tab. Or you can get really big, tall stuff like this. Let me see what these look like. Look at here. These little bitty tags, they stick out just barely. Or you can put all kinds of ephemera down in there, whatever you would like. You can actually even make this a double pocket and just glue down the back on the 3 sides, so you would have the tuck space behind there, and then you would also have the pocket space here. So a couple of different ways you can use these, but I think these are so cute, and I love that Margreth showed us how to do these, because I get to show you just a little different twist on them. I'm not tying that back because I'm going to change out that cording. The cording is too coarse and doesn't want to stay knotted. But I think these are so cute. So cute. And this one definitely needs some more decoration. I think maybe one of those could use a little doily like this one. Like my prototype needs some extra something. So anyways, yes, Bethany's doing very well. She graduates May 9th. We're so excited about that. Yeah, I'm going to find just some white yarn or something to put on these instead of this cording. Graduates May 9th. And she is so excited. I will tell you, her dad and I are very excited too. But I will tell you, Aaron Jonas is more excited than anybody, I do believe. He is so ready for her to be done with school and not have to drive all that far, which Mama is too. She has a long way to drive. Right now it's just 3 days a week she has to do it. But last semester and semester before that, it was 5 days a week. She was going full time just so, she was cramming it all in so that she could graduate this May. And she is on the home stretch, and we're so happy and proud for her. Let's put this doily on this one. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it all the way around. Not cut it, because I will end up not cutting it straight. And then it'll look like mess. There we go, and there we go. And then, see, decorating these are really easy because you can fold them out flat like this and decorate till your little heart is content. That was another thing that after I had watched most all of her file folder videos yesterday, another video of Margreth that YouTube popped up for me was one where she had done the envelope stack thing out of junk mail envelopes that I had done a couple of years ago, I think. Anyway, for her envelope, she had to cut it down to get it the size she needed. And she left the whole envelope, like slot and everything. Let me show you. So she had to cut off this side of it. And then she had to cut off this side of it. And then she had to cut the top because she wanted to decorate on the inside and all that. And the project she was making, the envelope was this way instead of this way. So anyway, she cuts off the side and cuts off the top. Well, then she's got this open flap, however it was. She had this open flap. And she decorated on the inside, put this cute little girl image on the inside, and then decorated all around. And then when she got done decorating and collaging, then she used her glue and she closed up the envelope, and then it was the fold over flap thing like I did. It was so cute and genius that she left the envelope open. I had watched that video because she mentioned me in it, and so when she did that, it tagged me and gave me a notification. And I had watched that, but then I was like, oh wow. When I started watching it again yesterday in the midst of cooking for the fam, I was like, look at her, how genius that is. How did I miss that the first time I watched this video? She left the envelope wide open. It was just genius. She makes some of the prettiest things. If you are not subscribed to Seven Plaza here on YouTube, you got to. Now this is some little pink silk kind of satin looking ribbon stuff that I'm just using, and I kind of love it. I'm gonna cut that tail off. I just kind of love that, so we'll leave that like that. And then I love the doily on there. For that one, it needs a little something, and let's use one of those invoices that I had gotten. Sorry, moving the whole desk, and I think I put my head up against the camera. So I'm going to untie this open this up, and I want that Tom's Nursery on there. I think what I'm going to do is get my tear ruler that I love so much and don't use enough. And I'm going to give myself a little mark. I'm going to tear there. And I'm going to tear there. San Antonio, Texas. I've been there. Have y'all been there? It is beautiful. I had some cousins at one time. They don't live there now. But at one time they lived there. And we drove to San Antonio. I know. I say that like it was a violent thing. It kind of was. It was horrid driving to San Antonio, Texas. Because when you get to Texas, you get to the Texas state line, you're thinking, oh, we have made it. We're in Texas. It's just wonderful. But then you could drive another 14 hours and you're still in Texas. It was a 17-hour drive, I do believe. Yeah, 17 hours. It was not fun. At all. Not fun at all. Alright, I do believe I'm going to cut off that top part too. And it's not going to want to be still and tear. Oh, look what it did. Oh well. Alright, I'm going to ink around what's going to be shown. This has got that carbon copy kind of smell to it. Brings back first job memories. I worked at an insurance company where Mama worked. My very first job. I was the little file clerk. Mama would go and pick me up, or me and Alicia. She would pick us up from school and take us back to work with her. And Alicia would play and I would file. And a lot of the invoices that I filed smelled just like this. Okay, I'm going to put this in the front here, like so. Another reason I love to watch Margreth at Seven Plaza, she is from the Netherlands. I love her accent. Just going to put that out there. And did I do that right? Yes, I did. Yay. Alright, then I'm going to... The back's not going to be seen. Melina, you're going to cut it off. Don't worry about it. Just tear it. It's fine. Yes, I love listening to Margreth speak. Just like a lot of people like listening to my southern drawl. I am so sorry about that. I'm so sorry that you like that. Oh my. I've told my husband a few times the comments I've gotten about how soothing my voice is and all this, and he just kind of gives me the side eye like, oh, okay. I know my voice is not soothing. Oh, me. Now see, that gives it just a little bit of oomph I wanted it to have. And I just love it. So there's my bow for that one and the little invoice back there. So anyway, yay! Mini file folder pockets made from scraps. And you don't need a file folder template. You don't need a file folder punch. You can make them just like this, easy peasy, beginner friendly. I hope you have enjoyed this Scrapbusters. If you make some mini file folders, I want to see them. So be sure to tag me, Melina Pylant, or use the hashtag Scrapbusters. And I will try to find you and leave you some love. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Love y'all. Bye.